The video that I did of her the other day, you saw me loping in the big arena. She don't have enough push in her back end, and she kept falling out of lead in the back. Well, there's several things that needs to happen for her to develop a good lope and stay in lead. Nose needs to come in, needs to break at the pole. Shoulders needs to lift. Back end needs to engage. But I'm not going to get all of that in one ride. Every ride is building one point to the next point. That ride where I was loping her was getting her to push more in the back end. Now my goal this ride is to get her to lift more in the middle. I needed that push in the back end to get lift. I didn't have enough forward to do it before. So what I want to do now is we're going to walk some circles. I'm steering around. She's keeping an eye on them cows. This is the one that was terrified of cows. But at least now she can function while they're in there. So as I'm walking my circle around, I'm going to put a little bit of contact right here where my leg hangs and ask the shoulders to move over. Leg first and then spur. Push her shoulders over, push her ribs over. What I'm wanting to do is leg yield off my right leg out to the left with her looking to the right. I'll come around and do it again so you can see a little bit better. A lot of people think collection and they start working the front, pulling the nose in. That is a visual to see that a horse is round, but that's not where I start. All right, right leg, push, push, push. There we go. It took her a couple steps to think about what I was doing. A lot of people start working on the face for collection. I don't do that. You're not going to get a horse up to the levels that I've trained horses by starting on the face. That's not where collection comes from. Collection comes from the middle and the hips. So I'm going to start, I typically start from the middle, lifting the middle, because when you get the middle lifted, the hips come under and the horse breaks at the pole and the neck. But this horse, I didn't really have enough forward walk to lift the middle. So that's why we did the lope. Ask her to move off my right leg again. Now we're starting to lift the middle. See how when I put there, I push, her middle goes that way, her head goes down and right. Her head is starting to break at the pole. Her head is going where it needs to go because I'm putting the rest of the body where it needs to go. Come around and do that again. Right leg, there we go. As soon as I start lifting that middle, the neck goes where it needs to go. Now she's probably going to end up with her pole lower than her withers when we get done. I'm not really trying to put her pole anywhere. I'm not trying to raise or lower her neck. I round from here to here, the neck and the head breaks at the pole and ends up at whatever height the rest of her conformation says it's going to be in. Most quarter horses end up with their ears below the withers or at the withers. That's just part of how most quarter horses, their conformation is when you round them correctly. I get questions all the time, how did you get that horse to lower its head? And now that time I pushed with the left leg, she was more resistant, kept her head up and pushed against it a little more. Let's ask again. Left leg, there we go. I got one good step and then she pushed. Left leg, left leg. All that pushing, there we go. All that pushing on her face is resistance here. She's complaining in her face because of the asking her to use her body, lift her shoulder here. It's just that it's hard work. You see, I'm barely doing anything with the reins. All I'm doing is kind of tipping her nose a little bit. Left leg, and asking her shoulders to go up and to the right. Didn't like my spur? I'll put it back on you again to get over it. There we go. The worst thing you can do, like she pinned her ears and got mad because I put spur on, the worst thing you can do is say, oh, that horse don't like spurs. It's not that she don't like spurs, it's that she don't like that I'm asking her to use her body correctly in the way it needs to be used. It's not that she don't like the spur, it's that she don't care for the work. There we go. Back in the circle. And you see how from this, a side pass will develop, collection is going to develop, a spin will develop, everything develops from this maneuver. But I need to lift the middle and engage the back end to get all of that to happen. I'm just kind of bending her to the left and just kind of holding my hands there. Not really doing anything to pull her head in, but what I am doing is holding my hands so that if she tosses her head, she bumps my hands. I'm not bumping her, she's bumping me. Old days, people would seesaw the reins to get the horse's head down. And that's an old part of training that I guess has a purpose, but you hardly ever see it when you do things right. I'm setting my hand still, let the horse find where it needs to put its head. There we go, and then back forward again. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of a counter arc. We're going to stay going to the left. I'm going to use my right leg and ask the shoulder to move over and bend her to the right. That's like taking this whole thing to the next level. So we're walking our left circle, a little bit of right rein, a little bit of right leg. Ask the shoulders to come over. There we go. Shoulders to come over. There we go. That really lifts that shoulder up so it can come across. And the other thing that does is that's starting to spin, but that's like the next level for lifting the shoulder. From that, I'll be able to take a hold with both reins, lift with both legs, and she'll actually round up like what you think of with collection. I don't know what's got the cows out there all riled up, but they're running all over the pasture. This is my working group here, and that's my breeding group out there. There we go. That's nice. I think everybody is enjoying the little bit cooler weather. And by cooler weather, doesn't mean it's cool. I mean, it's just our highs are in the 90s. That's what we call cooler weather. When we have a high of 93, 94, that's cooler weather. And a little bit lower humidity. I think they're just out there playing. All right, so now I change directions. This time I'm going to bend her to the left and move her off my left leg. A little bit of left rein, a little bit of left leg. Ask the shoulders to step across, step across, step across. Let's keep going forward. This is the problem I had before I loped her the other day. Every time I'd ask her to move, we would lose our forward. I don't want to just start kicking on her to get forward. I need forward because she's pushing with her back end to get forward. Ask again. There we go. That's better. So let's try. I'm gonna walk down this wall and I'm gonna just lightly take a hold of her face and squeeze with both legs, and let's see what we get. There we go. That's what we're working towards. Now, same thing with my hands. I'm not going to pull her head in, but I'm going to set my hand still so that if she tosses her head, she gets bumped. That's the collection we're looking for. But we have to have all those steps. We have to have engagement in the back end. Now she sees the cows moving around, running around. We have to have engagement in the back end. We have to have lift in the shoulders. Have to have a soft face. There we go. So now as I just keep practicing that, building up her muscles, her back muscles, her hip muscles. We'll do more loping, get the hips stronger. Keep asking the shoulders to move around. Keep lifting the shoulders. That's all just going to continually get better and better, and you can end up with that nice, pretty roundness and collection. And me never working the face like people perceive of working the face down. That's not where collection comes from. Collection comes from the rest of the body. So this is Maria. I'll put a link up here to the other videos that I've done of her. Until next time, thank you for watching.